Pain is something we all don't want to experience, right? Um, Many people around the world have been experiencing police brutality and have been unrightfully hurt, and this is a big issue. Police brutality has been occurring since the early 1900s and is still occurring till this day as of 2020. If we want to make a change in the way that police officers enforce the law and the way that they use their power, we need to make a change in the community and work together. Um, Not only do we need to make a change, but the government also needs to make a change. The government needs to propose a policy to ensure that that police officers undergo certain training to make sure that they are mentally stable before they go out and enforce the law. And I've been researching this topic for roughly one semester of college, and I've been looking in deeper and deeper as I go on as of this semester. I've just always been interested in this topic because back in early 2017, I got harassed by a police officer when I got pulled over, and it was not something that was fun because it made me feel like I was not respected and I feel like I had no rights. So by choosing this topic, I was able to look into what other people believe as well, and that is why I chose this topic. Now that I've talked to you about a little bit about the background about why I chose this topic and a little bit about police brutality, I'm going to be talking about what police officers undergo as of 2020. Police officers go through training before they can go out and enforce the law, but don't do tests to make sure that they are mentally stable. According to the criminal justice degree schools, newly hired police officers go through an extensive training period. Recruits are usually trained at a police academy for approximately 3 months. Police academy training includes classroom instruction on topics such as state and city laws, legal processes, and accident or crime investigation. So basically they all undergo physical training and knowledge of the law, and they also learn how to maneuver the car and fire a firearm, but none of it is making sure that they're mentally stable, and that is a big issue. Also, the Oakland PD talks about how in 2013 there were 659 reported incidents involving officers pointing their gun at a person, and in 2017 there were only 153 reported incidents, and that is a 77% reduction. Even though it's a big reduction from 659 to 153, it's still a big issue. So even if it's 2020, the year 2020, and only 20 people are hurt, it's still saying that people are still being unrightfully hurt, and that's an issue. We still need to get that number to 0 so that people are not unrightfully hurt, because being unrightfully hurt is something that shouldn't happen even in any circumstance. The police officer is not well trained in de-escalating situations, according to an article by Curtis Gilbert at the APM Reports. This can lead to the police relying on their firearm to de-escalate certain situations. This can also make the situation feel unsafe for both the person being detained and the police officer, and this could also make it not safe for the community as well. So now that I've told you about what police officers undergo, I'm going to be talking about what we as individuals can do to prevent police brutality. So as individuals, we could join the Anti-Police Terror Project. The Anti-Police Terror Project is a group of people in Oakland who are fighting against police brutality as of 2020. This is one thing that we as individuals could do, because we could join this group and we could raise awareness towards the issue, because there are other people around you who are also fighting for the same cause. And not only is it a good way to join people who are fighting for the same cause, but you could also spread the word and raise awareness towards the issue on their online post, because they also have a website, so that you could also use that to your advantage and help spread the word of police brutality. We could also take certain precautions to make sure that police brutality does not occur. One thing that we can do is overemphasize that we are unarmed. So say, for example, if we're stopped say we're stopped for speeding, and they pull you over, and then we're waiting for the police car to pull up on you, you would have to put both hands on your wheel to make sure that you are clearly unarmed, so that you could feel safe and that the police officer will feel safe and he will not feel like he needs to use excessive force to make you to detain you. And then, now that I've talked about what we could do as an individual, I'm going to be talking about what we as a community can do to prevent police brutality. We could protest peacefully, and then we could send petitions and raise awareness on social media So if police brutality does occur, then we have a way to spread the word. Similar to the individual situation, you could also, as a community, we could also overemphasize that we are unarmed. So say if we're in the street and we get stopped by a police officer just from walking around in front of a grocery store for no reason, we could just easily just not reach anything in our pockets and make sure that our hands are on our sides or even just right here, and to make sure that we are unarmed, to make sure that nothing escalates and the police won't use any unnecessary force. And so we could also even use blogs to report incidents of police brutality. So say, for example, say if something happens, then we have a way to spread the word and make sure that people can hear about what happens in our community. And not only can we just make blogs, we'd also videotape certain stoppages. So say, for example, you get pulled over, going back to the getting pulled over example, if you get pulled over and you have a passenger in your seat or you have a phone on you, I mean, it's kind of risky, but if you have a person right next to you, you can ask them to record the situation when you're getting stopped, and you can make sure that they are being recorded as well. This could help with getting evidence for if you bring it to court and if there is police brutality, and it's also just evidence in general, just to see if the police acts in a certain way, then you have it all on video. So now that I talked about what the community could do, now I'm going to be talking about the policy that the government, or that I propose that the government should make to end police brutality. The policy I propose is that police should undergo certain tests to make sure that they are mentally stable before enforcing the law. This is important because many times police brutality occurs because they are mentally unstable, and their past is affecting the way that they enforce the law, and that is a big issue. So even though they undergo all the best training like self-defense and all the training of knowing about the law, and if their mind is not in the right space, then that can cause a big issue. And the other policy I propose is that they should make a body camera, or they should always have their body camera always on, because as of 2020, their body cameras only turn on when they wanted to, and they can turn it on and off and during certain situations. That is why there's some unreported incidents of police brutality, and that's one really big issue. I propose a law that, or a policy that they should make a device that makes it so their cameras are always on, to make sure that no police brutality occurs. And if it does occur, then it's recorded on the camera. So we as a community all need to work together to make sure that police brutality does not occur. If we do not work together as a community, then no change will happen. From personal experience, I can relate to how they feel. But as of, if they are dealing with it, and if we don't work as a community to deal with this issue, then no change will happen. Also, the government needs to listen to what the people are saying in the community. If the government doesn't listen to what we say as a community and what the people in the Anti-Terror Police Project are saying, then that is going to be a big issue, and police brutality will still occur. As of 2020, police brutality is still occurring and is still a really big issue, but if we work together and try and solve police brutality, and you do these precautions of overemphasizing that we are unarmed and overemphasizing that we are not trying to cause any harm and just peacefully protest and don't be hostile with the police officers, we can make sure that this law can be passed. Thank you.